Hey, good evening, everyone. How are my CEOs doing today? Yes, this is Chauncey. I'm coming to you. I tell you, my time and my days have been long and they have been productive, but it is a lot that is going on. So much so that I'm just going to get straight to the point this evening. The bottom line, I'm trying to find out from you guys, what is it that drives you, those of you that are CEOs, those that are creators, empowerers as well as operators in your daily life? What gives you that like nonstop, tenacious, uh, D type of drive that puts you in the mood to get up, to go out and be very productive in all that you do? What makes you that unstoppable person when it comes to setting your goals, operating at a very high performance level in your life, understanding your perspective and purpose? What is those desires that you have that, make those dreams that you have come into fruition? They appear, they happen. Perfect example of that. Me and my wife were talking about some things that we wanted to do when we got back from our vacation. One of hers was, as we're building rooted vines, doing the things that we do, she wanted a certain type of work that she could do, but still have her time. And lo and behold, applied uh, through her application now that she graduated from college with her psychology degree, put it out there, four, four gigs, boom. She gets called back pretty much from the exact type of job that she wanted. Which is remote, gives her a phenomenal opportunity to continue to do the work that we have with Rooted Vines. I can still continue to, I'll keep doing my thing, even though here in about a few years, I'll be able to make a decision about retiring. Bottom line, when you are CEO of a small business, large business, or even a medium sized business, you have to have that drive. It's something that's so unstoppable that makes you get up, do the things you do, have that impact. 90% of the time, you find that you can accomplish your goals. And what's really the intense visuals of a CEO, the hustling, overcoming the obstacles, working late nights, sometimes those things do happen. But what we're trying to do is get to more of the internal drive. What makes you as a CEO burn that midnight oil, handling your business, coming up with that ideal that sets your goal that you have to that next level. A lot of people oftentimes try to figure out what is drive. Sometimes I say the key elements for me for drive is having vision, clear long term goals. And that for me started like, I want to say when I lived in Washington State. I had a boss, and I remember Norm when he said, his name was Norm Lane. He said, when I came on board, he said, you know, brought me in there. He said, my job is to teach you how to become an administrative officer within the next 4 years. And I tell you, everything he did, literally, he had me stand up because it was like my orientation, and me come around to his where his chair was, and had me sit down. And I remember being in Washington State. It's called Lake Union. He had this beautiful view, 26th floor, and he said, "This is what you're going to be doing as administrative officer." But I had to learn all of those jobs and functions that I do now as administrative officer. He guided me. And then after he retired, we had a fabulous party for him. His wife had retired. He's still alive today. They're just doing what they enjoy doing. But my next administrative officer, her name was Lenny McCarthy. Now she came from she was actually like a logistics officer for SEAL Team 6, but she had this background and this knowledge that was just fascinating. And I was like, she had a vision for our office in the Seattle area and how she was going to ensure that our team was performing at that high level, that we understood our purpose for what we did. We had that right perspective about what we did on a day in and day out basis, so that our goals were being met year in and year out. And those type of things resonated with me. They became my goals because it helped me to take the goals from those type of leaders and bring them into, you know, right order for when I became a AO, what I needed to do, handling HR issues, handling budgets, dealing with fleet inventory, also handling property inventory, major issues that could come up from OWCP. As administrative officer, you have to have, you don't have to know all the answers, but you need to know who your SMEs, your subject matter experts are, who can help you. You need to know how to contact people if they're out that can give you assistance. So those are what I mean. You have to have discipline. Your daily habits, your routines, they have to be so succinct. And we're going to get into, I think I told you guys mine, um, which is the 5 a.m. club, and how I truly deeply believe if you find something that you can put a stake in and you can make it yours, it'll be phenomenal. Learning from Robert Sharma about the 5 a.m. club and then the 2020 formula. Oh, it helps me to get things done, processing quickly, and has become my discipline. Resilience. Nothing is at all perfect. You know, but I do know how to bounce back from anything that's a failure. I try to have very few and far in between, but if something goes down, you have to be willing to take ownership. Most people try to pawn it off on somebody like, well, that was that person that did. If I see, whether it's for me myself, I'll take ownership if it's something that I did, but also to be a leader, to be someone that's out front, to be a CEO, I would say you have to be out on the forefront, even if it's the work that you're doing for your employees that may be underneath you. If you're a supervisor, or even if you're the employee, take ownership and say, that was my responsibility. This happens. Failures do come, but do you learn from them? Are you able to bounce back from them? That's the number one thing behind all of this. You know, Oftentimes we talk about mindset, and I told you there are four pillars, not only just your mindset, but your heart set, your health set, and your soul set. That's what Robert Sharma talks. So those are four pillars that I try to key in on every morning when I wake up. When I'm given the opportunity to put my feet on the floor and say I'm going to strike out and uh, get ready to do that thing that we call life. And I'm living it to the fullest. I'm not sitting back on my laurels. I'm not trying to ask for, someone to give me something, well, like I say again, yesterday I mentioned when I graduated from high school, I went straight to the military, volunteered, did my thing, got to go travel the world. But I made that was one of the things I did. And I could tell you this story. I had a drill sergeant that dude, he couldn't figure out what it was that was about me, that I just, they called it getting dogged out, you know, push ups, sit ups, everything, just yelling at you, just going ham. And I just basically, it's like, dude, I had a mother for 18 years and you ain't got no smoke on her. She invented smoke, but I learned grit, what it means, that if I'm going to do something, I'm going to stick by it and I'm going to do whatever it takes, no matter what the setbacks may be. I know that at the end of the day, there's going to be that's either silver lining or there's going to be light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm going to learn from it. That's what I often try to do. I try to learn from it. I try to, focus on the progress over perfection. Like in the 5 a.m. club, there was this character who was an entrepreneur. And it came down to it. It's not about perfection. Bottom line is, did you get it done? That's what I would ask. If you got it done, to me, that's perfection. 'Cause You can always improve on processes, but if you don't get it done, that's where the failure comes in. So if you complete a task, you do the thing, you know, also part of the 2020 formula is first one is 20-minute workout, the next one is 20 minutes worth of reflection, then third is growth. You have to be willing to grow again mentally. You have to be, from a psychological standpoint, you have to grow emotionally, develop tough skin. You may be sensitive in some areas, but I think controlling your emotions, be able to keep those in control, is a true sign of growth. And then third, view obstacles as opportunities to learn. Like I say again, don't get it right. It's not all about, hey, I gotta get, you don't feel like a failure. You see that obstacle and you look for ways to make the opportunity present itself. Set high goals. I have really high goals and aspiration as I get ready to move in to a new phase in my life. I want to be a day trader. I also want to consult with people. There's so many men and women out here, if they only knew that they had both young and old. I'm not just talking about young people, but both young and old. If they knew they had someone that they could come alongside and learn from and grow. In my office, I'm looked upon as a seasoned AO. So oftentimes I'll be asked if I could help mentor a new AO. I've considered it an honor. It's a lot of work because it's not like I can just leave my job, but I still got to do my job here. But I'm oftentimes more than happy to take that on. And there's a process, it also says build a why so strong it pulls you through why you're doing what you do. You know, if you have something that you deeply, deeply, deeply want to get done, that drive about why I'm doing what I'm doing, it'll happen to you. Won't even know it. It'll just course through like this. Before you know it, it's automatic. It becomes like the automaticity point. Boom. You get on focus, you get into that tight bubble of total focus, and you basically just handle your business no matter what may come. And that's the most fascinating part about it. Um, for a sec, I got but a few minutes left. I often tell people like there is a payoff for doing what you do, and you have to be excited about that seed that you're planting. And you have to establish what it is that you want to get out of it. And then you have to go about it. Like I said a couple times on different videos, this next 4 years, I'm not waiting for it to go by. I'm starting to put the work in. Starting to put the work in. Like I say again, my goal is to get to that point in doing what it is that I really enjoy doing. So if I choose to put in my papers and say 30 years, I'm good to go. Tell my wife, I walk into that office, or vice versa. If it comes to the point that they say, Chauncey, we no longer have need of your services, I'm like, I'm not going to have that. What do I do now? Because I'm putting that work in now. I'm looking for the payoff is going to come if I put the work in. I would say the same to you. If you put that work in, the payoff is going to come. You know, why many people fail is that they quit when it gets hard. And to me, I introvert by nature, but I've learned to be an extrovert, to come outside of that shell, to grow, to be able to put forth, hopefully, my best foot forward. But again, I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking to have it done. And once I can see that, that's all that I can hope that I leave as far as a legacy. I'm always looking for that territory called legacy and how I can do it. If I'm helping, and I'm talking with his brother today. He has a young son who is interested in doing certain things. He wants to know about stock market, things like that. Juvier, to me, young 25, 26-year-old gentleman, Phenomenal. Profit Club, Profit Room, I'm sorry, Latoya and Ernest. Boom. Share that information to him. I'm not asking for nothing from it, but when he was able to get back to me, he said, "Hey, thanks, brother." But because he wants to prepare his son if he's going to go in that direction after high school, doing whatever. But the thing of it is, what harm is it to be of service to some people and not look for anything in return? These are the things that help us in the long run. Because if we plant good things, and you will be amazed about how those things come back and they multiply back to you, sometimes two, five, tenfold, sometimes even hundredfold. You will truly be amazed if what you do, how you benefit greatly from it. And being of service is just so instrumental. I could not tell you guys how awesome I feel to be able to share the things that are within me, at 57 years of age, freely. I have this saying, if you give me a minute, I'll give you an hour. But that time period, I hope that is the most productive, even if we just simply laugh and have a really good time. But I hope that is you get something out of it. That's what I'm always looking for. So I appreciate you guys. Uh, for viewing my videos, taking time out, putting comments in it. I greatly appreciate it if you would also like and share this video. It helps me out a lot. I get the privilege to come back. Like I told you, I pushed it from 4 million. Hopefully I can get over 5 million videos because I want my impact into this universe to be a gargantuan competitive advantage for each and every one of you. Called a GCA. I allow my joy to be my GPS. Help me to strive for better. Finding things that I can do in life to help others is such a privilege. It's been given to me, and I want to extend it and give it out to you. So, as Robert Sharma would say, own your morning, elevate your life. Have a good night. Bye.